Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Fallout Bar after night 2 of the PDC World Matchplay, brought to you by Betfred. As always, I think that's been extended for another couple of years as well, which we love the Betfred branding on the Matchplay stage. It just feels right, doesn't it, Carwyn Evans? Good to have you alongside me as ever. How are you, mate?
Yes, it's good to be here. It feels like it's been a while since the end of the Premier League, and you're right. There's something sort of Blackpool and Betfred go together hand in hand, and day and a half in, I'm sure that the sponsors will be very happy with how some of the early results have gone. But yeah, how are you keeping?
Yeah, good, mate. It's been a little while since we've had me and you on one of these. I think we should probably start off, and it would be remiss of us not to, with an apology for last night that we weren't here. I'm sure there were a few of you waiting for this show last night. And I think we've got to touch on it a little bit, haven't we? We'll start on last night. It started off as you'd expect. Joe Cullen not in the best of form. James Wade loves the match play stage. He always has done. Got through that game pretty comfortably, let's be honest. And Danny Noppert, a lot more experienced on that stage, up against Cammy Menzies making his debut. Again, pretty one-sided, kind of what you expected with those two. However, from there onwards, it wasn't what you expected, was it?
No, I saw an interesting debate on X following the Luke Humphries game, where asked whether it was an upset and a shock. I think it was Josh Pearson who brought it up on X, and I found it interesting. A lot of people were saying, yeah, it was an upset, but probably not as big a shock maybe as people were expecting. As yes, Luke Humphries, defending Matchplay champion, Premier League champion, but Gyan Van Veen is one of these young players who just fearless. Nothing sort of bothers him. He gets up on the stage, and yeah, Luke will probably be disappointed maybe with his individual performance, but at the same time, I don't think you can take anything away from Van Veen in that moment when he just did what he had to do to beat the world number one, really.
Yeah, and I think I'm with you. I think, like you say, it felt like, obviously it's an upset, the world number one and the defending champion getting beat. But it did feel like, and I sort of felt this going into it, that even just looking at it from a punting point of view, that I knew I wouldn't be shocked if Jan went and did it, because we know how good he is. And he is getting more and more comfortable on the big stage. He's getting more and more used to it. And yeah, I just thought, looking at the odds, nearly 2-1 on it compared to sort of the opposite on Luke Humphries. And I just thought it just looked a good price. And we saw what he did last year, where he pushed Rob Cross all the way in an absolute belter on this stage, and just wanted him to turn up again. And I don't think Luke Humphries has done really anything wrong and got out. Like, yes, okay, he can put up better stats than 96 average and 30% on the doubles, but if anyone else did that, we'd sort of expect that they'd just roll through and win. It's just because it's Luke Humphries that we think that's maybe a drop off from him. And I thought it was a solid performance from both. It was a great watch, as much as anything.
Yeah.
And then we had more of that in the final game, didn't we?
Yeah, and again, it was just similar to Humphries, I guess. That's still not doing much wrong. Just Vessel Nyman having one of those nights where whatever he wanted to hit, it seemed to land in the right place, as in over 70% on your doubles. You'd be very unlucky not to win a game if you've hit 70% of your doubles, especially over such a long format. But he just sort of did the right things at the right time, as I often say.
We got it in already. We're only 5 minutes into the show.
It took 6 minutes for me to get that in there. But no, you know what? Another young, confident Dutch player. And yes, people may be divided on their opinion of him based on his actions in the past.
Yeah,
but I think
obviously you can't get away from his past.
No, and he served his
young man. It was a while ago. He served his time, and we've got to sort of feel like we almost have to move on from it now. But it is always going to hang over him. But it does make me think every time I watch him play, how big of a star would that bloke be already if there wasn't that pass hanging over him?
Yeah, and that's not the disappointing thing in it, but it's a shame, really, isn't it? And it's sort of, I like his post-match interviews. He's confident in what he's saying, and I heard I saw a clip online, I should say, where he said, use the booze as motivation, don't let them get you down, and I think when you do come and play in the UK and you may be against a fan's favourite, you're gonna face some stick from the crowd. It's become part and parcel of the game. We've spoken about it in length on this Fallout Bar in the past, but he's just everything. Forget the past; it's happened. But yeah, his potential. I think the sky's his limit, and to do this. To beat Aspinall at Blackpool in the first round, I think it shows how competitive the field is, and that pretty much anybody could win this tournament.
Yeah, I think you're bang on with that. I'll tell you where he will get some booze if he ever does rock up. He is signed on for a team in our darts league, and they are our most local team to our pub. So it's a little local Stretford rivalry. But he is signed on for the Trafford Social Club. If he ever rocks up against us, especially after beating Nathan Aspinall last night, he is getting from me.
That's just from you, isn't it?
yeah, just me in the background. Beat Nathan, will you? Right, you're getting it. Anyway, moving on from that and on to today's action. And few in the chat room. Let's say hello to a few in the chat room already. Kieran's in, Patrick's in, James is in, and Shelty's in. As always, good to see you, everyone. Good to have you in, and obviously get involved as ever. You make us sure what it is, and we'll obviously come on to predictions at the end, which is your time to shine and show us up that you're better than what we are. But we didn't have any predictions yesterday, so we are going in a little bit free on the first one. No one's got anything wrong as yet. Damon Heta against Andrew Gilding kicked us off this afternoon. Sunday afternoon session in Blackpool. Is there anything finer than that in the world? But I don't think many would have took Gilding to win this one.
No, and I'm probably one of those myself. And as the game was going on, first break, Heta 4-1 up. And fair play to Gilding, he stuck in there. He got back to 6-4 with the second break. But even at 6-4, I thought, Heta's got enough in the tank here. He'll get over the line 10-7, 10-8, and build on it for the next round.
Yeah, and then especially like when he went 8-6 up, like he had that little wobble, got back to 6-piece, and then he got himself back on track, 1-2 in a row, break a throw to go 8-6 up, and I felt it was. I always felt it was done every time he kept going 2 legs up. But Gilding just sticks in there, doesn't he? He's just hard work to get rid of in the nicest possible way.
Oh, yeah, that was it. And I was messaging earlier, and I sort of said Brian Joyce is one of those players who sort of just lingers around.
Yeah,
Gilding's the same. He'll never be the flashiest player on stage, as in, but
just the way he throws. Because
I'll
be honest, stats-wise in this game, he was as flashy as anyone in the world.
Oh wow, yes.
He didn't make it look like that. It never feels like that when it's Andrew Gilding, does it? Even when he plays at this level, just because of he does throw slowly. He's very deliberate. He does things in his own way. It's never going to feel the most exciting, but standard-wise, it had it all.
Yeah, it did, and he. To be fair to him, by the end, he was a deserved winner, and sort of. Well, neither player could hold their throw towards the end, as in it all got a bit scrappy. But it sort of the standard didn't drop, even though we got scrappy in terms of holding their own darts. But no, credit to Gilding. Heta will be gutted. to have gone 8-6 up to then have to break to stay in the game to make it 9 apiece. I don't think he'll be happy with that. But again, he looks at his stats and he thinks, I've hit 100 average. As in, I should be winning a game unless I'm playing Luke Littler with 100 average.
And there'll be some more we come on to today and feeling very similar to that. But like you say, there'll be a lot more people in the chat room that are better on this sort of thing than we are. But I would imagine that's Damon Hetter's best ever average on a match play stage.
Yeah, and he's lost.
If you offered him 55.5% on his doubles, 100 average, and you'll win 10 legs, he'd have ripped your hand off and gone, who am I playing in the next round?
Yeah, exactly. See you on Tuesday. Thank you.
Yeah.
Insane, really. Insane game of darts. And it just sort of set up the afternoon for the seeds, really, where just one disaster after another. But credit to Gilding, as we've said, 8-6 down, 4-1 down. And then to sort of still have the temperament to get over the line, having been in a match-winning position at the start of a leg, to then lose his own throw. Was it 3 on the bounce? Just to get over that line, 12-10, I think shows a lot of courage. And yes, Gilding may be in the autumn of his career, age-wise, but he's still putting numbers up that
still as good as ever, like you say.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing phases him. We were talking about the young kids, nothing phasing them, but Gilding's just one of them. You go up there, hit a big score, give it a big thumbs up, and move on.
Absolutely. Speaking of giving it a big thumbs up, whack one on the stream while you're at it, so more people come and have a look at us. Everyone that's in the chat room. That's a lovely little segue, that, wasn't it? I like that.
Oh, you practice that, sure.
It's off the cuff, that, mate. I don't practice anything. I just wing the lot of it, as you well know.
A thing of genius.
Second game of the day. Speaking of winging it, I have no idea if we have any interviews in from this afternoon or not. Could not tell you.
Nobody's mentioned anything, but obviously.
I think we've got a couple. Oh, we have got Andrew Gilding by the look of things. So let's listen to him first, and then we'll go on to the second game of the day. Once we've finished our management meeting on air, as always.
I'm sure it wasn't so much as a thriller for me that it was for you, but I'm happy. Yeah, that is a development. A few years ago, I would have crumbled, I reckon. But now I'm getting so much experience under my belt that those sort of things I can handle now.
It is good to know that the young kids are getting this experience under the belt at 54 years of age.
Well, that's it. As a relatively new face on our TVs, it's great to see Gilding competing with the top boys, isn't it? No, so good luck to him in his future endeavours.
Yeah, that's it. He's got a long, long future ahead of him in this game, young fella. Evening, Joe. Evening, Bob, as ever. Good to see you in. Second game of the afternoon, and we have another upset straight away. There are seeds falling left, right, and centre. Bob Cross loses 10-8 to Duijvenbode. Now, this may not be the most popular opinion with a lot of people, because there's plenty of people that like Rob Cross and are big fans of Rob Cross, but I'm bloody glad to see Dirk back winning on a big stage.
Yeah, I think darts needs it, and darts fans need it, because Dirk's one of those with his walk on and with his personality, and we sort of the aubergine's lost his way a bit, and a win like this sort of could be the kickstart he needs, because again, similar to Gilding, he was down and out at 6-2, and I'm not going to say his body language had given up, but he wasn't in a comfortable position in the game, and he would easily just to say, pack it in, say, okay, it's not my year this year, and see what happens. But no, credit where it's due. He dug in, got himself back into it, and then sort of role reversal. Rob Cross sort of went, well, actually, there's nothing I can do now. I can't hit anything.
I think especially mid-session was impressive from him, I think.
Yeah.
6-2 is very easy when it's not going your way and you've not had a big win for quite some time, to end up going in 8-2 there
Yeah.
at that session. To get those 2 back beforehand, where he went 6 perfect, was it, or 6 or 7 perfect? I can't remember. Did he hit I can't remember whether he hit the first one of the third visit or not, but he went 6 perfect in that leg to break back for 6-3. And then hit another 180 in the next leg to end up getting it back to 6-4. That was really impressive from him at that point. And yeah, he just gave himself that opportunity. And then he came out the break with another breaker throw straight afterwards and a hold to get it back to 6-all. And all of a sudden, game on.
Yeah, I think that 11th leg was huge, wasn't it? Because he came out and without giving Rob Cross a chance to sort of sort of gather a bit of composure and extend his lead, he found another breaker throw. I think, was it a 12 darter, 11 or 12? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a very, very quick one. And that's the thing, like you say, you can lose that momentum going into the break off the back of 2 really good legs, but he didn't, and he kept his foot down and just went after him.
Yeah, and sort of from that point then, he woke up and thought, right, actually, I can win this game. I've got him here. I just need to be patient and see it through. And yeah, in the end, it was, I'm not going to say comfortable, but he sort of saw it out quite easily without too much pressure, really. Dog outside going crazy.
I was going to say, I've got to buy the dog. Clearly, the dog is a big fan of Dirk and his walk on. That sounded quite almost like Dirk's walk on. That he just started giving it the fist bump, and it would have been all right.
Yeah, I think he's getting a bit excited seeing some aubergines out there. So,
well, yeah, really good win for Dirk, and we have also got a little clip from him as well. So let's hear from him, and then we will move on.
Yeah, just ask Rob.
Well, obviously we don't get to speak to him, so can you elaborate?
No, I won't. I'm not like that. Ask him. He'll tell you. Or not. But I won't.
There was a little bit of drama in this one. A little bit of needle, wasn't there? But Dirk is not letting us in on what was said. Leaving that for Rob to tell us, even though we don't get to speak to Rob, as the famous Mr. Phil Bart has clearly pointed out there in that. He's like, well, he won't tell us because we don't get to speak to him. But yeah, not sure exactly what it was about. I assume it's just down to the fact at the end of the day,
heat the moment sometimes, isn't it? It's just
like losing matches.
Yeah, exactly. And neither of them like losing. So it's one of those where whoever doesn't like losing would say something, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. Game 3 and another upset-ish. I mean, I do not. I'll be honest. I didn't see this as an upset. The bookies didn't have it as an upset either. I don't think Peter Wright's playing particularly good darts, and although he was good on the outer ring, it wasn't good enough to keep him in this game against Jermaine Watamina, who just did enough without being spectacular. I think is probably the best way we can put it.
Yeah, I think the damage was pretty much done in the first session, wasn't it? And even though Wright did get back into the game, he never looked
a long way to come back from, innit?
Yeah, exactly. I think at some point you're going to run out of steam. And I don't know, it was a funny old performance. As in, I don't know if he was toying with the crowd at the start, whether he was going to shuffle across the stage or not, but he was sort of hesitant about doing it. And I thought, well, and his hair wasn't maybe as brightly coloured as we've seen it in the past. I don't know if it's Peter Wright
accepting a little bit off.
Yeah, and accepting maybe that his best days have gone now, and I'd say he was only maybe a slight favourite. Well, I know the bookies didn't have him, but fans would maybe say he's a slight favourite because he was seeded. But really, I think the way he's falling down the rankings, it's not looking like Peter Wright will be anywhere near the top side of those rankings again, and we're probably seeing one of the golden generation maybe slipping down the ranking slowly.
Yeah, where do we sort of think he's at? Is he still turning up at tournaments believing he can win them? Is he at that point, or is he now just sort of making his way steadily out the door?
As in, I'm sure if you asked him on camera, he'd tell you he strongly believes that he can still win a major and that he can still compete with the top boys. The reality at the moment is that the numbers he needs to compete with those top boys aren't there. And I think he averaged 93 today, as in, it's not going to win.
That's one of the better performances we've seen from him over the last 18 months.
Oh, definitely. But unfortunately, it's not going to win you many matches on telly with the way the standard of that is at the moment. So, unfortunately, I think we're sort of seeing the slow demise of Peter Wright from being a top darter.
Yeah. We haven't got a clip of Jermaine, so we will go straight into the final game of the afternoon session, which saw Mike Dedeker beating Dave Chisnall 10-7. Now, again, for me, this didn't feel really like an upset. I know Mike Dedeker has not played as well since his win, but I still think he's a much more consistent player than Dave is right now.
Oh, definitely. And in Mike's defence, sort of, he hasn't had much time to practice this year because he's been going on holidays.
He has been on a lot of holidays, that is true. And unfortunately,
clash
with a lot of big tournaments.
Yeah, so in his defence. But no, I agree with you, as in Chisnall was the seeded player, but it didn't feel like I didn't have confidence in Chisnall sort of winning this game because Dedeker's game is better, and if he can find the consistency he found during the Grand Prix, then it doesn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if he flies past Chisnall in the rankings.
No, it's just, that's the thing, isn't it? And I mean, if you give me both of them on a level playing field in the scoring stage, which they pretty much were, like there's very little in it in 180s, 140s tons, my 50 pence would be on the fact that if you put them at a finish at the same time, that Mike Dedeker wins 19 times out of 20 against Chisnall. Because he's much more solid on the outer ring. He always has been, always will be.
Yeah, and yeah, when you look at Chisnall's doubling stats, it's probably roughly where he is as an average for his career.
Yeah, it's probably about right, isn't it? But the problem was he didn't outscore him, which is what he usually does, and he gets more opportunities. And he still had more opportunities in this game than Mike did, but not enough of them because Mike was well over 50% and just took his chances when they came.
Yeah, and it was interesting in this game, actually, when he took the 118 out. I think it was the 10th leg, wasn't it, where Mike was sitting on a two-darter. And I actually thought, if Chisnall now can come out the break and maybe get a break of throw and hold, after build on the momentum of that 118. But unfortunately, he couldn't capitalise immediately. And Dedeker then just sort of found that extra gear and pinged the doubles, and the 104 just sort of sealed the win. Obviously, then he took the 148 to win it out, which was a beautiful finish. But Chisnall just a bit underwhelming again. I don't know what it is. As in, he seems to hang around the top 16 without ever doing much.
Always on floor events, isn't he?
Yeah.
But when was the last time we saw him do anything really on a stage? I can't. I'm struggling to put it together.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't think.
And that's never a good sign when we can't think of one between us in recent memory. I'm getting slightly distracted because I can see the famous Mr. Phil Bars in the background, and it's clearly he's absolutely laughing his little chops off in the background. There's something going on in the press room that we have got no access to, but clearly something there. While I just watched that in the background, we have got a clip from Mike Dedeker and then we will get into the evening session.
Well, I didn't expect it because everyone knows what my opinion was on the World Series in Holland and the Premier League. So I didn't expect it, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Was it a nice moment when you get that call?
Yeah. It was a European tour in Kiel, and I got a phone call from my manager. And I thought he said, I have some bad news. And I was like, oh, come on, man, now what? But he said, no, you're going to Australia and New Zealand. So that was a confidence booster. Still stand by those comments. Well, no added pressure at all. I'm going to enjoy the experience, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, would be remiss of us to miss the fact that Mike Decker has finally finished his holidays and he is now available for the World Series in Australia and New Zealand, which is a wonderful holiday destination, as it turns out.
Read what you want into his decision to accept this invitation, but a few weeks down under.
It is well deserved. Let's be honest.
Oh, 100%.
At the end of the day, it is very much well deserved. Off the back of what he did last year, he does deserve his shot as much as anyone else, and he probably can feel a little bit hard done by, and he clearly still does. He's still eating away at him a little bit, but yeah, good to see him get his chance, and hopefully, if he can go and take that chance, go and win one or both of those events, he'll be back and he'll get more opportunities, and that's the way he's got to do it, rather than go on holiday and moan about it. Just when you get your chance, go and take it and show them that you're meant to be there.
Yeah, and don't compare yourself maybe to someone like Luke Littler, who got so many opportunities last year. He was a freak of nature. He's one of a kind. So that's not the comparison you make.
If you're going to compare yourself against Luke Littler, you are going to be fighting a losing battle forever.
Exactly. So yeah, just forget what's happened. Keep your head down. Don't say anything stupid, and chances will come, because he's too good a player not to get those chances.
Yeah. Exactly that. And as long as he keeps at it, he keeps focused and he keeps playing, he will win plenty over his career, regardless of Luke and anybody else.
Exactly.
He is prodigiously talented and he will get the rewards that come with it as long as he sticks at it. Someone else that is prodigiously talented and still continues to be so opened up the evening session tonight. Gary Anderson. He's just ageless, isn't he? He just keeps doing it. It must just be an Anderson thing, because we all know I like my cricket. But Sir James Anderson, to give him his proper title, he's still doing it now in any event he wants, in any format that he wants, at the age of 42, nearly 43 now. And Gary Anderson is 54 now, and he's still as good as ever.
Yeah, I think what both Andersons have realised is if you play the game with a smile on your face and don't worry about anything out of your control, you can still perform at the top level. Yeah. And that's what Gary seems to be doing. I saw an interview he did with Phil, I think last week, I can't remember when he sat down with him, but
last week wasn't when they sat outside in the sunshine.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, talking about the Premier League and that he'd probably turn it down if he got invited back. And Gary's at a stage in his career
when you know you're realistically not getting it.
Of course, but at the same time, as in, I don't think there was any sort of lies in that statement. I think
it wasn't a Rob Cross, I'll turn it down.
And I think he's sort of at a stage in his career where he can be picky, but he's also won enough to sort of be like, actually, what's good for me, what's good for my family, and ultimately what's good for prolonging my career. Yeah. And since he sort of had that attitude and maybe got rid of any chips on his shoulders, he's now putting in performances capable of going deep in these tournaments. And whilst I don't know if I was underwhelmed by Luke Woodhouse, but I was expecting a bit more.
He played well.
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought he may have pushed Gary a bit more. But that's maybe me just being fussy. But
yeah, well, I think he was doing, like, obviously at 5 apiece.
Yeah.
He was really pushing him, but then obviously Gary's reeled off 5 legs on the bounce. As Bob mentions in the chat, he did mess about with his darts a little bit today, Gary. But if he throws anything other than them that he threw for the last 5 legs, then someone needs to be having some serious words with him.
Yeah, because the second half of that, the last 5 legs, he blew him apart really, and you sort of Luke Woodhouse started to miss the trebles, and Gary was finding them. So when he put both those things together, legs get away from him quite quickly. But no, I thought Gary was very impressive, and you'll fancy a bit of a run, Obviously, they all love Blackpool, so why can't he go deep?
He certainly can. We all know he can do it over a long distance and over plenty of legs. He always has been able to. I think with Woody in this one, for me, it was a little bit like it's all a bit in spells. Like if you look at the sort of just break it down into the stats slightly, the consistency of Gary on the ton plus scores. Like if you look at the 180s and the 140s, like the 140s are pretty similar. The 180s, Woody's absolutely battered him on. He's had 11 less scores of a ton plus over the course of the 15 legs. That's what's hurting me, isn't it? It's just that little bit of consistency because the doubling was good. The big finishes were there as well. He had a 167 in there. It's just that little bit of consistency, just let Gary get ahead.
Yeah, and if you 11 less tons, would almost suggest maybe 11 more trebleless visits.
Yeah, they're probably 60s.
So you're sort of looking at 40 points a throw on one visit per leg at least. So yeah, you're going to struggle there.
It makes those opportunities more difficult, doesn't it? Like you look at what Gary's had to do. The highest he's took out is 101, whereas Woody's had to take out 167 because they're the opportunities he's leaving himself because of those slack visits.
Yeah, and it's a shame because I like Luke Woodhouse. I think he's got some potential, and maybe playing Gary at Blackpool, it's not an easy draw because of what Gary's done in the game, and there is that element of playing somebody you've watched on the screen growing up and what have you. But
probably someone that,
so
idolized previously, as I think we all have with Gary Anderson. And I imagine that's very much the same for someone like Woody, who's a similar age to me. He's what you'd sort of expect, but yeah, he's still one of those players, Woody, that he's very, very good, and on his day, he is more than capable of beating anyone else he goes up against. And
yet to get to win in the match play stage though, which he'll hopefully put to bed
and
next year.
And the longer it goes on, it gets harder, as we know.
Yeah.
But I just think like we get carried away with Luke's and Jan's and the rest of it, and Vessel. Like at 36, Luke Woodhouse, in darting terms, he's still young.
I'd say in life is very young as well. Being 38, I think he's still very young.
Exactly. So he has got there's players that we're talking about that have done well today. You look at Gary, at Andrew Gilding, the mid-50s.
Yeah.
He's got nearly 20 years yet where he can still keep going for that long and keep improving and keep getting better and be able to compete. So I still think he's in a good place, and I still think he's got the opportunity to go and do plenty in this sport still.
Yeah, I think what would be ideal for him would be climbing the rankings slightly so he doesn't play Luke in the last 32 of rounds.
Yeah, and that is the thing, isn't it? If he can, it is so difficult to do, but if you can just break into that top 16 is the one, isn't it? Like he's obviously sitting around 31 at the moment.
31,
I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, games like this don't help because it is a chance to get a lot of money on your ranking. But if you look at the gap between him and the top 16, what 145 grand.
Yeah.
Like a big run at one of these sort of tournaments, whether it's this one or the Worlds, can do that for you, and it can put you in there. And you only have to you do it once, and then you get everything that comes along with it. And like you say, it just makes your run at all these events easier. But it wasn't
Yeah,
just
definitely.
today
Yeah.
because it was Gary's day, and
Yeah.
as ever, the famous Mr. Phil Bars spoke to Gary Anderson after we were done.
Youngsters are boring. Absolutely boring. You talk to them, they're too busy looking at their phone. I remember Dave was doing that 30 years ago. But nah, you've got to have a laugh, haven't you? If you don't have a laugh, life is a... And that's it. Simple as that. I know I swore. But it is. If you don't have a laugh, you know what? It's one of these things. You've got to enjoy what you do. There's no use going to a building site and having a hell of a time. Could be a joinery company. You don't like it, you don't do it. It's one of these things. You've got to enjoy it and have a laugh. You know, the old boys, Eddie Lewis and all that. Like I say, Eddie was brilliant, and I wish he comes back. I do miss him. Love you, Eddie.
Do the younger guys...
They're sitting on their phones and their bloody earphones. Don't talk to you. You know, it's a completely different life. You know, but no, they're good. But they ain't that good. That's what you've got to remember. You all talk about certain players. We've seen one of them go out this week. Well, sorry, yesterday. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan comes through trumps. Then what you got to talk about?
I just love Gary Anderson. I love listening to him. He is right though. You've got to have a laugh. You've got to have a bit of fun with it. You can't, as much as it is professional sport, you can't take it too seriously. Like, we even know this, like playing local pub league. If you take it too seriously, you will not perform. Like, if you can just have that little bit of relaxation, play, and enjoy it while you do it, it just brings the best out of you. And I love that cheeky side of Gary. It's just not going anywhere, is it? Like, if anything, it's coming out more, which is just great to see. Unfortunately,
I think,
his prediction was massively wrong.
Massively wrong, yeah.
But
I think he's right as well, as in when you sort of think, as a darts player, you're a one-man band. Okay, yes, you've got your manager, and maybe there's a few other darts players in the same stable as you. But if you can't have a laugh with your fellow pros, it's a very lonely place to be. So I think there is a logic to that. And I guess with him having played sort of before maybe listening to mobile devices and what have you became a thing, he's sort of grown up chatting to fellow pros and joking around and filling time with...
Like, your only phone at that point was in your house or down in a phone box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it is. Yeah, like I say, it is that different era, that different genre, but it is. I feel like he makes a very good point with it. Like, and we are all guilty of it. That certainly these days, like, we spend far too much time on our phones, attached to them, and it's difficult because there's so much going on and there's so much you want to keep up to date with, but it does at times stop you sort of living in the moment and enjoying what's actually going on. And it's something that I almost think sport could do better, but it's very hard to sort of police and do it. But you look at the Masters, you go there, you're not allowed a phone.
Oh, wow.
So you can't have a phone on the course.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But everyone there is just taking it in and enjoying it for what it is. Or watching through the phones. Everyone's just watching the event. And I don't think you could do it in darts or in anything else, mainly because you need it to go to the bar half the time, to be fair, at darts.
Yeah.
But it is just so much better. Like, you see the pictures of the patrons behind watching the sport, and you just think there's not a phone in sight, and it's fantastic. And then you go to every other event, and nobody's watching. Everyone's filming it. And do you ever watch those videos back?
Nope.
Never.
Never.
Like, and you think, oh, it's great to film this, get this moment. You never use it. You never do anything with it. And you're better off just enjoying it and doing it for what it is. Maybe we don't have to take people's phones off them, but just put some sort of blocker in there so there's no signal completely.
Somebody
Like, whatever way it is,
Yeah.
it might just make sport a little bit better. One person that you won't have been on your phone for tonight, and we are going back into the 50-somethings again here, Johnny Clayton. And we mentioned earlier about people, Damon Heta and others, putting on the best ever performance on this stage and not getting a win. Well, my word, Martin Schindler did that as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. And I think sort of the averages, or history will say that Schindler averaged more than Clayton and what have you, which is the truth, obviously, because that's how they ended up.
Better. He averaged more and he doubled better.
Yeah, but it's just
he lost the game.
Damage was done in the first 6 legs again, sort of 5-1 down. And I know he got it back to 6-4 by the second break, but the reality was Clayton knew he'd have enough on his own throw to get over the line eventually. And I think for me, the huge leg was the 14th leg when he took the 108 out, because he loses that and it becomes 8-6. Schindler's throwing 8-7 and he gets nervous then.
More as well, wasn't he? And
yeah, and it becomes a nervous ending for Clayton. But just sort of getting to 9-5, he knew if he needed them, he'd have 3 legs he'd start on to get over the line. And I think Johnny he'll be happy, as in obviously he'll want to improve because every darts player strives for perfection. But yeah, Schindler.
I just think a Johnny Clayton that averages nearly a ton is a Johnny Clayton that wins a lot of matches.
Yeah.
He's a bit James Wade in this sense that he doesn't have to average as high and still will get the results. If he's averaging as high as that, it's almost like 105, 110 from anybody else.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? And I think he'd probably want to tighten his doubles a bit. I know 40% isn't the end of the world, but when you're not getting 106, 107 average, you need to back that up with his doubling. But I actually feared for Clayton before when I saw the draw, because I thought Schindler was playing that well. It could be the one. I thought, funny enough, I thought he could be one of the seeds that maybe slip up. I didn't expect 6 seeds to fall before Clayton threw it down.
No, exactly. That's it. Surely there can't be another one at this point.
Yeah, so credit to him for just sort of getting through a tricky first round, really, and he'll just be glad. He'll be happy he's in the tournament now, and we'll have to build from here, really.
Yeah, and I think it was the experience of Johnny, wasn't it? Really, it was very similar at the start to the Rob Cross Dirt game. And like you say, Schindler wins those 2 legs to get in at 6-4. Johnny just comes out and wins that leg afterwards. And yes, he got a little bit of help in doing so. Like, I feel like it wasn't a great leg from Martin as he came out of the break. But it was just, he killed the game off at that point.
Yeah.
Whereas Rob wasn't able to do that, and Dirk came out firing still after the break. And I think it just, as good as he was, Martin Schindler, in this game, he didn't do it at the right times.
No, I'd agree with that. Yeah, definitely left himself too much to do and ran out of legs.
Yeah, we haven't got Johnny Clayton, which is surprising because I thought we would have. But no, we haven't got anything of Johnny Clayton from this game, so we will go straight on to the 3rd game of the evening session. And as Gary Anderson said, do not be surprised if Ryan Searle knocks out the number 2 seed. 10-2 to Luke Littler.
Wow, yeah. My only disappointment is that Luke Littler let his average slip so low after the first
109
5 legs.
Disgustingly poor.
Yeah, as in if I was his manager, I'd be disappointed to only end up on 109 and over 50%. There was no. You know what? After everything that happened in the 10 games before Littler stepped on that stage. There could have been nerves there naturally just because of how things had gone. But you know what? He came out
He
firing.
never won on this stage either.
Yeah.
He's only been up there once, but he was obviously expected to go up there and do big things last year and got beat in the first round.
Yeah, but no, credit to him, as in he just absolutely destroyed Searle in the first 4 legs. Then Searle sort of had a look in but couldn't hit a double. Just
From
yeah,
it was just done though, wasn't it? It was never.
Yeah, it was a matter of
turning around from there.
Yeah, it was a matter of then. Will we have a third session?
Yeah,
or will it be 10-0? And yeah, fair play to Rai. He only got his 2 legs to force a second break, but and one of them a break a throw, bizarrely.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I guess that's the only negative of Littler. He didn't hold his darts at every throw, every leg. But no,
and we know, like, obviously this was very, very impressive from Luke, but Ryan can compete at this level.
Yeah,
even if Luke's throwing 110 average, Ryan Searle has that in his locker, and we've seen it many a time from him, especially in sort of short bursts as well. Where he can get, but he just didn't. He couldn't quite find it today, and I say he only got 6 shots at double in the match, which when you need 10 to win it is never going to be enough, as we know. One thing that did surprise me in this game is that Luke Littler is now a double 16 merchant and can't miss the bloody thing.
Yeah, I noticed that as well, and it's sort of just
deliberately leaving it at times as well.
Yeah, and when you're playing against someone like Luke Littler, you're really looking for a weakness in his game to give yourself a chance. If he's now pinging double 16 for fun, then that's gone as well, and there's no hope whatsoever of trying to catch him.
Yeah, literally, the only weakness he has now, which has never really been a weakness for him because it's usually something he does quite often. But he mentioned it himself afterwards that, well, he said that like he just felt that the double 16s were going better when he was practicing. But he said, I can't seem to hit a 170 for anything. If that's your only weakness, then you're taking the fucking piss, Luke.
Yeah, and if that is your weakness, then God help us. Where's the limit going to be for his darts? But yeah, you know what? As in, when he's playing like that, he can believe that he's got very little weaknesses because nobody stops him if he carries that form on all week.
No, he literally we might as well just give it him now and let's not play the matches.
Yeah,
but let's play the matches because I'm going on Wednesday night and
definitely keep it going till Wednesday for you then.
Which we will see a certain Mr. Littler play at that point.
Oh, you'll be home early then.
One thing I was disappointed with in this game, nothing to know at Luke here whatsoever, but his new shirt looks fucking rubbish.
So you've just answered Bob's question. What a telepathic moment between you and Bob there, Cam, because he literally put up, what did you think of Luke's new shirt?
I hadn't even seen that.
As you were saying.
I was already queuing up the clip of Luke's interview ready to play. I didn't even see that. No, it's...
no need for it.
It's crap. It does not look good. I don't like it at all.
It may be my age, but it just looked too bright for me.
Yeah, and it's the fact that it's all up here and it's weird font and you can't really tell that it says Nuke across the shoulders unless you look closely, and it just looks like it's a bit like they've tried to put a pattern across the shoulders, but they haven't made it look quite symmetrical. Not for me.
Not for me, no.
But then again, who are we to talk about fashion, really?
Yeah.
If you want to have a look at his shirt, if you haven't seen it, I mean, what you're doing, watching us if you haven't seen it, but you can have a look at it now because we've got a clip of him speaking to Phil after his game.
A little bit, but I think it's obviously more than everyone. It's all eyes on Luke, but the field of play that's still left in it, it's unbelievable. The Seeds are getting beat because they're not performing on the day, so the underdogs, they're going to win. But yeah, well, all eyes are on me now, but I can only look what's in front of me, and that's what I'm in round 2.
I don't know if you're aware, but this is the first ranking darts you've played in the PDC since the 21st of April. That's some stint playing in non-ranked events. Were you aware of that, or is that something that you not look at? It's just you just pick the tournaments for the sake of it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was my first ranking event since April. But obviously as a player, I don't think I picked up a trophy for 4 or 5 months. So that's always in the back of your mind, getting that winning feeling back. But just to win round 1 here, get it ticked off, I'm very happy.
It is mental that he's not played a ranking event for that long. I know obviously he's skipped quite a few events here and there because of Premier League commitments and the rest of it. But I suppose when you get $500,000 and now it's going up to $1 million from next year for winning the Worlds, you can afford to miss a few ranking events out and it's not going to hurt your rankings.
No, well, that's exactly it, isn't it? And he's sort of making the most of the ranking events he is playing in. And it's also good to see that his team are looking after him, because it's easy enough to get burned out on this tour. The demands of, especially when you're in the Premier League, pretty much away for what, 5-6 days a week. It's a lot.
And you're as young as you are as well. He's not like, if he was a Premier League footballer or whatever, you'd be resting him every other week because you're like, he's young, he's still learning, he's still getting into it. Like, he's been thrown front and centre from the very start and played as much as anyone over that time. So yeah, it is good that he is being looked after in that regard, and he's not overdoing it. He's not doing it too much himself. I don't know how much of it is his team and how much he just seems switched on enough himself that he knows what he needs to do and what he doesn't need to do. What I did like as well, this is just from his interview with Sky after his game before, he was in the arena last night watching as well. Seeing what was going on, just getting used to it, just watching other people play and seeing how anyone else gets on. I like that.
Yeah, and I think as well, it's good because obviously the atmosphere in Blackpool is second to none. So I know he has played there, but just familiarise yourself, because obviously he wants to go deep this year and he doesn't want any sort of nerves or anything like that to play part. Not that I expect he gets nervous, because he's that bloody good, but it also, when last night then does play out like it does, it just gives you that wake up call. Actually, I've got to be on it tomorrow. I cannot be sort of slipping up like Luke and Nathan have this evening. So it's good to see, as in, it just adds a bit of rivalry as well, doesn't it, when you see the world number 2 checking out how the world number 1 is getting on.
Of course it does. Of course it does. And it is good to see them. Like, we all want it, don't we? We know they get on. We know that they're relatively good mates, and like a lot of them are these days. There's not a lot of animosity between any of the players, really.
They spend too much time together. They can't afford to.
They're all together, all everywhere together. Yeah. They play together in the World Cup. The rest of it, but it is good just to have that little bit of rivalry. We want a bit, don't we? We want just a little bit of drama.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's why we love it.
Final game of the night, then, before we get on to predictions for tomorrow's session. Stephen Bunting against Ryan Joyce. And if you'd asked me to predict how this game was going to go, the only thing that I've got wrong here is the fact that somebody won it by 2 clear legs, because it always was going to be close. It always was going to be a bit of a battle at times, and there always was going to be moments of brilliance from both at times as well. And that's basically exactly what it was.
Yeah, it was an interesting one, and Ryan Joyce didn't look in the game at all until Bunting missed, I want to say, 3 or 4 darts to go 9-5 up.
Yeah.
And from that point onwards, I thought, it's going all the way. We're going to get a 25th leg. Because I thought, 9-5, it might be on, we might start fall out back early.
We move on at that point, and we fancy Bunting just to wrap it up.
Yeah, but then when he got away tall, I thought, oh no, here we go. As in, I actually thought at that point, could Joyce nick it 10-8? Because Bunting just sort of wasn't at the races. He hit a 180 in the previous leg to start it off and lost it. And I thought, oh, okay. I think he even hit 2 180s, I think, didn't he, in that 16th leg and lost it.
One to kick it off and then one to
45 or something. Yeah, and I thought, oh, okay. Bunting's gone here. But credit to him then. He just found that big stage experience, that composure, and just sort of got over the line. And Joyce will probably be a bit flat with how it ended. But again, he's just another player who was lost in the middle part of the match, left himself too much to do.
And got himself back into it, but then it's so hard at that point, isn't it? To sort of kick on and do it. And like I say, he had an opportunity, didn't he? I think did he miss 1 or 2? 1, I think, wasn't it? For 9-8.
He was at 89, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Did he leave himself tops? And then went to 5s? Oh, no, he hit the treble 20. Hit the treble 20 and missed number 5 at the end of 89.
That was it. The 19 and then the treble 20 or the 20 for the ball. Yeah, hit the treble 20, but then missed all 5. That was the opportunity. Like you say, if that goes, you fancy that he probably wins 10-8.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it doesn't. Stephen Bunting takes out the 56 and then another leg with 2 180s in it.
Yeah. I made no mistake.
On throw to go and wrap it up. Like, you aren't losing at that point. 10 180s in the game from Stephen Bunting, and I didn't feel like he played all that well.
No, and it's sort of the complete opposite to what we saw in the Premier League, where he threw outstanding but couldn't get a win, where here he's thrown well, space to improve, but he's thrown well enough, and he's got over that line. And as he always does now, post-match, he sort of thanks the Bunting mental army for their support and what have you. But what I like about the Stephen Bunting story is he now believes in all the hype around him and the Bunting mental army, and it improves his game.
Gimmick, is it? It is. He's legitimately believes that he is one of the best in the world. I mean, he is.
He is, of course.
He's number 4 in the world.
Yeah.
But, all we need to see now from him is the trophies to follow it.
Yeah.
Because you can't keep just being consistently good enough to be in the top 4 in the world without bringing the big results and the silverware that goes with that. Because you can't just be an Ely man forever. You can't be that guy that's sneaking in the Premier League because you're popular and you're consistently good without keep winning things.
Well, he's the highest seed left in the top half now, so
he is. It's an opportunity. It's a huge opportunity to go and win the second biggest of them all.
Yeah, but the one thing I'm worried about is in his post-match interview on Sky as well, he mentioned next time Gary would be a pleasure to play him on the Blackpool stage. You've got to take that. You've got to take
none of that.
No emotions. You've got a job to do.
Yeah, you say that after you've won.
Yeah, after you beat him, you say, "Oh, it was a pleasure to play Gary." But I'm glad I won.
Before that, you're thinking, "I just want to take your head off." I want that full boxer mentality. I want you I'm going to go in there and I'm going to rip him to pieces.
Yeah, it's best of 21. You want to win 11-2, get off that stage, and look ahead.
100%. I think there were a couple of comments from different individuals tonight that I wasn't overly impressed with, and you probably won't like it. I know you've probably seen it in the group already, but I was not impressed with Johnny Clayton at all before and after his game. Like, his first talk was just about, it'd be nice to pick up some money this week and do that. And then going, and if everything goes well, I could win something. No, that's not the attitude I want to see. It's not often I criticise Johnny Clayton, but
no, I think the problem is he
didn't come across well for me.
No, he's redone his house, so probably needs a bit of money. And after redoing his house, he may not have built a trophy room, so he probably hasn't got space for trophy. So not that I'm going to defend him, but no, I know what you mean. As in, you're there to win the trophy, and money's the added bonus.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it should be for me. And yeah, I'm probably being a little bit harsh, and I'm probably being a little bit grumpy, but well, it wouldn't be a Fallout bar if at some point I wasn't being a grumpy bastard. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, that's the joy of being able to disagree on the Fallout bar. It's forgotten by the following morning.
Exactly, yeah, certainly by us at least. So we are on to predictions time. Oh wait, oh no, we're going to hear from Stephen Bunting first, and then we're on to predictions time. So yeah, here he was speaking to Phil afterwards.
Yeah, no, really excited. Listen, Gary Anderson's a fantastic player. He's won the match play before, has he? He's a couple of times world champion. He's a stalwart in PDC history in the BDO when I used to play there as well. And he's a tough opponent, but he's probably not as good as what he was probably 3, 4, 5 years ago. But he's still very, very dangerous, and I need to make sure that I play the best I can play. Otherwise, I'll be going home and Gary will be in the quarters.
Thanks, Bunting.
Yeah, there wasn't really a lot there. Let's move swiftly on from.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is the final night of round 1, Monday evening at the Winter Gardens. Tonight, as it is now, because we are 1 minute past midnight as we stand. We've gone on for over an hour already. It is always a tough one when there's 8 games to get through, though. We've only got 4 tomorrow. So yeah, this is your chance to get involved in the chat room. Tell us who's going to win. You need scoreline. If you don't give us a scoreline, we'll ignore you because we're in charge and that's what we do. If you want to get involved and you can't, it's because you've not clicked the subscribe button. So you do need to do that as well because we are pretty militant in that regard as well. If you don't subscribe, you can't comment. So yeah, click subscribe, click like, get your predictions in. And we start off with what I think is a really good game. Chris Dolby against Ricardo Petrescu. Darwin, as ever, I'm going to throw it to you first, especially on the ones where I'm not too sure myself. Go on.
Yeah, I think this one depends what Petrescu turns up. As in, if he turns up in the mood and up for it, I can see a slight upset. If he doesn't, Dolby outscores him. So I think there is an upset on the cards. I'm going to go 10-8 to Petrescu.
You've stolen my thunder.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's an upset as well. And I'm with you. I think if he can stick with him in the scoring phase, and he doesn't even need to match him, because Dolby will probably outscore him slightly still. But if he's there and abouts, if Dolby's leaving 81 and he's leaving 121, like even that, he's just within scoring, within striking distance. He will put Chris Dolby under enough pressure that we know that Chris Dolby, if you give him 3 clear darts at a door where you're nowhere near, he'll ping it first dart every single time. But if he has to hit it, we've seen it too many times now that you can rattle him and he'll miss chances. And if you miss his chances and you take it out, that only gets worse and it only gets harder for him. Yeah, I think it's relatively close. I think did you say 10-8?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think maybe one more, maybe 10-7. But yeah, I don't think it's not one that's going 10-2, 10-3 like we've seen with some of the games so far. But yeah, 10-7 for stretch score for me. Kieran has got it 10-5 to Dolby. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by that result either. That's the thing. If Petrescu's not quite at it and he can't stick within the scoring phase, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the result. Bailey's got it the same as me, 10-7. Joe's got it 10-6 for Dolby. Patrick 10-6 for Dolby as well. And Bob has got it 10-7 for Dolby. Second game of the night. The finalists two of the finalists from the World Cup of Darts recently. in which case, on which occasion Daryl Gurney came out on top ahead of Gerwyn Price. I mean, usually this would be my chance to go first, but obviously, as the Welsh correspondent on the show, it's up to you here. Which way do we see this going? Is this repeat or revenge? I know it's not pairs and it's completely different, but
I think it's revenge, and it's a shame, really, that we saw the scenes post the World Cup final of Price and Gurney hugging in such a friendly manner. Because a few years ago, this would have been lovely.
Needle, didn't it?
It would have had the words and the shoulder shrugs and the big guans and everything going.
I think we'll still get it. I think once you get into a singles environment, I think we still get it.
Hopefully, because the rivalry is a nice one and we love it, and they bring the best out of each other. I do think
it gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Although I do think Price has too much for Gurney, because in that final, whilst Gurney did play well, I think Rock was.
Gurney was good under pressure.
Yeah.
At the end of legs, but he needed Rock to get him there.
Yeah, so I think Price wins. Oh, I think I'm going to say Price 10-7, I think.
I think it's wider. I think it's 10-4. I think it's a relatively big win for Gerwyn Price in this one. He's playing really, really well at the moment as well. The last couple of weeks, he's been excellent, and I don't think Gurney will live with him in the scoring stage. He might do it for a couple of legs, but he won't do it consistently. And yeah, I've got Gezi winning this 10-4. In the chat room, Kieran's with me. He's got it 10-4. Joe's got it 10-7. Price 10-6 for Daly. Bob's got it 10-7, and Patrick's got it 10-5. So we're all going with Gerwyn Price winning this one, which means there's nothing surer than Daryl Gurney wins it 10-0.
Definite.
Game 3. This is nostalgia. This is history. This is the two greatest Dutch players of all time going head to head on probably the most iconic stage of them all. I know the Palace is what it is, but the Winter Gardens is something special. I just want to watch it. I just want to see it. I don't even care who wins or who doesn't, but it is my turn to pick. I don't have a lot of confidence in Michael van Gerwen these days. However, I think I have less confidence in Raymond van Barneveld. So I hope this is both of them at the very best. What I think happens is we see both of them at about 70%, and both of them at 70%, Michael van Gerwen wins this game without a doubt. So 10-6 MVG.
Yeah, it's a game that could have been something special a few years ago, and probably would have been something special, but it almost feels like which one of them plays, I don't want to say better, but the
less bad.
Less bad, yeah. I think I'm with you. I think MVG wins just because he's had more opportunities to play dance recently, and
I think these days as well. It's a relatively long format from the start, isn't it? 1st to 10 is a lot from the start in the match play. And I think the longer the game these days, the less and less I fancy Barney to keep it up for that time.
Yeah, and I think it might be a wide one. I think it might be 10-4 MVG. I don't think Barney has anything in him to push MVG deep like we need him to make a game.
No, he'll have his moments, won't he? But they won't be enough, even if MVG is not quite at it.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. Yeah.
Kieran's got it 10-7 for MVG, 10-5 for Joe. Patrick's got it 11-9 Don't mind extra legs. I mean, if it goes extra legs, that would probably be because it's been the game we want it to be, and they're both at it, which I'm all for that. Bob's got Prime MVG returning 10-3, and out on his own, Daly's got Barney 10-8. Well, because he likes chaos, we love chaos on this show. We love to manifest chaos or to certain Mr. Dan Simpson, who is in Blackpool all week this week as well. I'm looking forward to seeing him on Wednesday evening as well. And finally, comfortably game of the night. Oh, Coco sneaking in there, getting a 10-1 MVG in there. Bold prediction right at the end, just sneaking in before we moved on to the next one. Yeah, game of the night for me. This is, in the first round of games, this is second only to, and this was what I called as soon as we saw the draw, definitely not before it came out. There were two ties that stood out to me straight away. The first one was Luke Humphries against GVV. The second one was this game. Ross Smith against Josh Rock. Again, at the match play. It's just a wonderful game of darts. It's going to be 180s galore. Whatever the over number is on the 180s, I'm backing it. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just backing it. And there'll be big finishes. There'll be plenty of giving it some. There'll be celebrations. There'll be roars. There'll be the lot. It's just a wonderful game of darts. And because I've not decided yet which way I'm going to go with it, you're up.
Yeah, well, as in, I don't know if Smith can live with Rock at the moment, and Smith's a big scorer, so I'm not sort of saying that lightly, like Smith not being able to score. I just think Rock is flying. I think Rock wins. I'm going to go 10-6 Josh Rock, and I don't think Smith plays bad. I just think Rock plays outstanding.
Yeah, I'm fully with you. I think I completely agree that I think Josh Rock wins as well. I'm fully judging my pick here on what I want to see in this game, and I am going to agree with Daly in the chat room. 13-12 Josh Rock, because I want all of it. I want all 25 legs of this. I want to see absolute back and forth, just the best game possible. So yeah, I'm purely picking up on that. In my head, I think probably I'm closer to your prediction, Colin, but I'm going full heart over head on this one.
And I would welcome that. I would welcome 25 legs of these two going hammer and tongue.
100%. Joe's got it 10-8 for Rock. Kieran's got extra legs as well. Got it 11-9 for Rock. Patrick has it 10-7 for Rock. Bob's gone 10-6 for Smith. Little one the other way around. And Cocodamon's gone wide again. He's after an early night tomorrow. He got a 10-1 and a 10-3 in there. We didn't get your predictions in for the earlier two games, so throw them in. But I assume they'll be 10-0 and 10-2 or something along those lines, just to get a nice early night and get to bed early after you've listened to us waffle for an hour.
Yes, please do join.
And that is where we end, I think. That is time to wrap it up. Like I say, it's the first show of the week, so apologies once again that we weren't here yesterday. I think that was partly my fault. I wasn't available yesterday. I think you were waiting for someone to join you, but there was no one really about. Oh, you don't want that early night. 10-9 Chizzy? I've lost there. No idea. Confused. Right. Yeah, so we will be back tomorrow. I think it's me and you again, isn't it, Colin, tomorrow evening?
If it goes late, yes. I do have pub dance, but it will be on, so hopefully it goes 13-12 to Rock. Then
hopefully it's not Cocodamon's picks, otherwise
yeah.
knackered, and it'll just be me waffling for half an hour until you turn up. But yeah, that is us done. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us after night 2 of the 2025 Betfred PDC World Match Play from the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. as ever, all of the interviews will be in full on the channel for you to go and listen to. Plenty on there, like I say, last night's and tonight's. And like I say, another really good night of darts tomorrow. If you're going down to Blackpool, just enjoy it. It is one of the great places to go and watch darts. Like I say, if anyone's there on Wednesday, I'll mention this again as we go along through the week, but give me a shout and come and say hello. We'll have a beverage and just chat darts for a bit. So yeah, if you're about, let me know. But other than that, we will see you tomorrow and we will do it all once again. Right, all.